Hey everyone, it's Dwayne here. Welcome to another episode of Snapshots from the Summit. 5 minutes of amazing goodness that will enable you to unlock the money vault, flip the bird at the 9 to 5, and slash decades from building wealth. It is a most magical day here on the GC. For all of you who are watching, you can just see over my left shoulder there, out into the never-ending ocean of the Gold Coast, my friends. Okay, today, what am I going to share with you today on this episode of Snapshots from the Summit? Well, it's kind of like unlocking the money vault is kind of like Monopoly. You remember that game, Monopoly, when you were a kid? You know, got the board out, family gets around the board, and away you go. And, you know, I always wanted to be the car, you know, that little car that you get on the board. But the concept of Monopoly, for those that do not play or have not played in the past, that's shame on you. You definitely must play this game. It is the thing that set the foundation for myself and many others that I know for ultimately unlocking the money vault and ultimately being the catalyst for being able to slash decades off building wealth. Because the concept of Monopoly is the concept of unlocking the money vault, right? Shock horror, right? When you play the game of Monopoly, the whole goal is to get around the board, buy houses or invest so that you can generate income that is not dependent on your ability to sacrifice or prostitute your time for money, right? So the whole concept of finding other ways of developing income, and in this case through the buying of businesses, you know, the railroads, the utilities, buying single family unit homes, then replacing them with hotels, right? The whole concept is all about investing. So as a kid, when we play Monopoly, we are taught the principles of being able to escape the 9 to 5 at a very young age when we're playing Monopoly, right? Invest, buy assets, then replace those assets with assets to produce even more income, right? There you go, right? That's the concept. But as we get into our adult years, we seem to completely forget that that's how we go about generating wealth, right? Creating multiple income streams, investing. No, we don't do that, right? What we do is we trade our time for dollars, and then at the end of trading our time for dollars for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we look at our bank account and there's nothing to show for it. In fact, on a previous episode of Snapshots from the Summit, I shared the shocking, horrific statistic that the majority of people would find major trouble coming up with anywhere between $400 and $1,000 should a crisis call for finding that kind of money, right? And yet we were taught as kids the secret to that situation never ever happening. So I implore you now, right? If you've never played the game Monopoly, do it today, right? Just practice, you know, a couple of times a week even. Start just once a week and then maybe a couple of times a week, 2-3 times a week. And what you're doing is through the concept of game, you are learning the principles of unlocking the money vault, the principles of flipping the bird at the 9 to 5, and ultimately in slashing decades from building wealth through the game of Monopoly, all right? Which is, we need to spend our time, generate the income, then take that income and generate more cash flowing income where our time is not being prostituted anymore for meager returns that we have to work for 40, 50 years to have nothing to show for it, my friends. So the game of Monopoly is the secret. Go and, if you haven't played it, go and play it now, right? And I do implore you to play the physical version of Monopoly. There's that mind-body connection that goes and play it with the people that you love, right? So they understand the concepts of what you're trying to do. You're trying to unlock the vault, right? If you need some help when it comes to unlocking the money vault, or you just don't get that concept of Monopoly, reach on out. Above or below this episode, you'll find 3 ways. Pick one, and let's have a chat about what we can do to help you ultimately unlock the money vault, flip the bird at the 9 to 5, and slash decades from building wealth. This is Dwayne signing off for the team here at Conquer Your Everest. Until the next episode of Snapshots from the Summit. Till then, bye for now.